Jabru, is the screen sharing working fine? Can you just confirm? Okay. Okay. Let's start then. Very exciting, very exciting. So, let's start by our official website made by Jabru himself. Here you can see our little homepage. There's gonna be more things in the future when we have main thing and the game page ready to release. But for now, this is just a little bit of a information website. If we go here to about, you can see some basic information that we had already released previously. Our game will have the two classes, dragons and warriors, and will also include some special classes called Genesis Warriors and Dragons, which will be a special collection. Our coin is called Loot, and we also have buildings, which will be at the first phase, the castles and the Gambling Tavern, which will you will be able to gamble loot, and the castles will be a structure that will give benefits to your warriors. Here are our first art sneak peeks. You can see them here in bigger zoom. This will be the format of our dragons, and this the format of our warriors. These are just the base model designs. Of course, there will be traits for everything. Like each dragon will have its own traits, and the same for the warriors. They'll have different weapons, different colors. Um, a little thing that's important to notice is that there's a ranking system for rarities. Dragons will have 1, 2, 5 stars, where 5 will only be the Genesis collection, and the normal mintable dragons will be from 1 to 4 stars. Okay. Whereas, maybe can you mute Jabru? It's making a bit of an echo. Okay. Whereas warriors, you'll have the Genesis with 2 stars, and normal warriors won't have a rarity. It'll be only 1 star. Website is all functional. There's a lower section that we will keep adding new stuff to. Sneak peeks, you'll get to the same page, and the white paper will redirect you to this page, which is our new and revised week white paper that is now hosted on a wiki website. The lore is still the same that we had before. Game mechanics, there's a bit of an explanation here for everything if you want to read it. Now, roadmap. This is something we worked on and will still keep working on as we go. For now, this is our initial plan. The phase 0, which is where we are right now, is the creation of the community. We have just released our website and the socials are already out. And we will keep giving out whitelist and VIP roles until the mint date. We will also release a Genesis collection, which will be 1,000 mints. That will be a pre-release before our game goes live. These will be mainly used for expenses we have before we launch the game, as well as to fund a big marketing campaign we want to do before we release phase 1. Phase 1 will start when Generation 0 goes live. This will be the generation where you can mint using Ethereum. After that, the game goes live with minting, staking, and the coin, and there will be available 22,500 mints that you can mint with loot. We will also release castle minting on the week after the game launch, as well as coin flip, which will be on our gambling tavern. The gambling tavern will start with only coin flip, but in the future we plan to add more gambling games as well. We'll get to the faucet in a bit when we talk about the coin. And for phase 3, we still have a lot to figure out, but for phase 2 at least, we will introduce the new secondary coin, new updates with the two factions, the Dragon Riders and Dragon Slayers, potion system, a treasure hunt adventures minigame, and other empire buildings with more functions for you to use. We will also probably create a merch store, and we plan to end the phase 2 with a special event, which we will call for now the Dragon Riders versus Dragon Slayers War. Here you can see the art again. We will keep releasing new sneak peeks as we get more traits done and more variations. Now, getting on to the main thing information. The Generation 0 will include the 1000 Genesis mints, 5000 mints that will be available for minting, and this 1500 are the airdrops we'll do because whitelist gets one airdrop, VIP gets one airdrop, free mints gets one airdrop. So this number is just reserved for the airdrops. So there will be 5000 NFTs to mint at the start and also 1000 on the Genesis collection. After that, the mints will start being done with loot. They'll start at 400 loot, then go to 500 at this range, and just keep increasing until the whole collection is minted out. It will take around 10 million, close to 11 million to loot the entire collection. So getting into tokenomics, the total supply of loot will be 15 million. 12 million will be how much can be earned before the faucet is turned off. 2 million will go towards community rewards and the liquidity pool funding, and 1 million will be awarded to the developers for giveaways and other purposes that we might need. Getting into staking. As you can see, Warriors will be a 90% chance mint, whereas Dragons will be a 10%, making it a rare mint. Warriors will earn loot when staked. You'll be able to claim 80% of your loot, where 20% goes to Dragons owners. And then to unstake, you need to wait 3 days with it staked. And when you do unstake, you have a 50% chance of losing everything you staked, where all the loot you've earned. For dragons, it's pretty simple. They'll have rarities from 1 to 5 stars, as we showed before. And 5 will only be the Genesis dragons. This is important. You'll see below that they have different rates after. Um, These will earn a share of the tax that is taxed from the warrior's claims, as well as have a chance to stealing new mints. When you unstake these, there's no risks or for staking or claiming, so these are pretty safe if you want to invest in a more safer way to play the game. Now, getting into Genesis, these will be have a little more buffs compared to the normal ones. Like, for example, there'll be no risks for Genesis Warriors, and they will claim 100% of the earned loot. Whereas Dragons will still earn the 20% share, but Genesis Dragons get a higher percent of the tax, as well as have the highest chance of stealing mints compared to all the other dragons. So having one of these two is the best way for you to have an advantage over other players in our game. We intend them to be the most valuable NFTs in our collection, at least for phase one. And we also have plans to, in the future, give them even more benefits as we go. The liquidity pool will be funded by a percentage of our sales. We still haven't decided what the best percentage would be, but closer to release date, we'll give you a specific percentage number, and we'll also create an incentives plan where you will be able to earn money and other rewards by simply adding from your own funds into the liquidity pool. For the future, we have already thought of some new updates to add. We're gonna add on phase 2 an apothecary shop with potions. These potions will have buffs that you can use when you're playing the game. There will also be a thing called Treasure Hunt Adventures, where it's pretty much a multiplayer game. You'll get your warriors and go on adventures. There'll be sometimes you get loot, sometimes you lose NFTs. It's pretty much a high risk, high rewards type of mini game. There will be the factions event, which will be Dragon Riders versus Dragon Slayers. You're gonna choose a side, and then there'll be a big fight at the end to end phase 2. And the whole part of Empire Grows is pretty much just new things we're gonna keep adding to the game that you'll be able to use loot on. With that being said, I think I've talked about most of the new stuff. You can all check this all by yourself later. We're gonna post all the links and everything. Everything is live already. You can see here, dragonrealmofficial.com is our website. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, you can ask now, and I'll try to answer them.
Maybe you can have a look at the AMA Chris's channel.
Will the team be doxed? Yes. Closer to release date, we plan on doxing ourselves. So you can be sure or have more trust that we won't rug or anything like that. Um, the suggestion channel you said? Or what channel did you say, Jabru?
Oh, AMA Dash Christians. I believe we have that channel. Not sure if anybody posted it yet.
Mint price, there's not a mint price chosen yet. This is mainly because right now the whole space is pretty weird with NFTs. The market is kind of tanking pretty hard, and we don't want to put out a price that is too high for the current market. We're waiting a bit closer to release date to give you a price. We will give you it with time, don't worry about it. There's gonna be like a previous notice, not gonna be on the day before. But for now, we rather not set on a price because it's a weird market right now, and we still have a lot of marketing to do. So we're gonna hold on giving out a mint price. What kind of mechanics will be used to stop dumping off the token? Well, the whole thing about the way we're making our economy is that since there's a pretty small, let's say, available amount to mint, because you saw that it takes 10.8 million tokens to mint the whole collection. Um, since there's only 12 million available, and there's certain burn mechanics such as the taxes on, for example, coin flip, and the amount that will be burned with castles. We don't think burning will be something that will be necessary because the coin itself, there's not like a huge supply of it. So loot is just the initiation of our game. We are more concerned on the secondary currency that we will add during phase 2. This currency will be bigger in amount available, so we'll have to regulate it better. But the way we have things set up, there's not a big concern about the whole token losing value. The liquidity pool will have a tax fee for selling and not for buying. So if you want to sell your coin directly into a swapper, you'll pay a fee. Whereas if you want to buy, there will be no fee. So there's more incentives to buy than to sell, or to mint and to sell mints if you want to make money that way.
And just to add to that, I think for regarding the liquidity pool, there has been some nightmares in the past with that. So we'll definitely have a look at that close to the time to make sure that goes smoothly. And there's not like a liquidity shortage.
How will the Genesis Mint be done? Public or yeah, we plan on making Genesis like fully public. We thought about maybe we can give VIPs small early access, but we want to make Genesis like available to everyone in essence. So we don't want to make it whitelist reserved. Um, because Genesis is more like of it's a way for you to pretty much say that you believe in a project because uh, since the game won't be live yet and will take like 2 or 3 weeks probably after Genesis to release or around that time, we plan to like use Genesis as a way to reward early users in the game, as well as use the money to grow the game even more before we launch. That way, everyone will have a smooth experience, the minting will go smoothly, and anyone who invests will in the future make money and earn money from their minting investment. Yeah, the whole tax part will make it so that it's way more profitable to mint than to sell directly to a swapper. This way the coin will always keep a steady value. And since the faucet turns off at 12 million, that means that there's not unlimited coin being generated. Eventually, the coin will stop being generated, and the extras, let's say, that are not used for minting will have some use on phase 2. We'll have like a little reward for anyone who still has loot that they didn't use. But for now, like since it's such a small supply or a controlled supply, it's not really small, it's controlled supply. There shouldn't be any problems with the coin losing value and inflation and all of that. Any consideration of auction style of Genesis mains? I mean, could be an idea, but I don't know if it's like necessary. Like we don't have a rush to sell Genesis super fast or super slow. We're just gonna release it, and whoever wants to invest, they're free to invest. We are pretty sure that the Genesis will sell out before Generation Zero does, so that shouldn't be a problem. Um, but we could consider auction, I guess. We could make it like a higher price, and then it drops down to a minimum value. We still have to figure that out. But it's a good idea for sure, something to consider, an auction style. For anyone tuning in now, we have gone over the website so far and now we're answering questions. All the website and revised wiki with the new white paper information will all be available after this AMA. We'll also post both of the art sneak peeks on the sneak peek channel, so you'll be able to use it, to share it, to whatever you want to do with it. So yeah, don't worry about any of that. You'll be able to read through all of this stuff again. And we'll also have the whole AMA recorded and posted after with a little recap on what happened. If anyone has any more questions, feel free to post them now. And we'll finish off with those questions. I see Henry's typing, so I'm hoping there's a question there. Might have missed this, but will loot be the primary token throughout the future phases as well? No, loot will be used for phase 1. It will be only a controlled limited token. Only 15 million will be available in total. So it's mainly just to start the game. We plan on having a more complex secondary token, which will become eventually primary in the ecosystem, be created for phase 2. We think it's better to launch a more controlled token with burning mechanisms and anti-inflation mechanisms in the future, because that way the game is already started and set up in a sense that people who want to invest in the game already have their NFTs, they know how the game works and all of that, instead of just having the first token be the primary one, because that way it's more well thought out, more secure, more has more in the past to prove that it's worth its value and all of that stuff. So loot will not be the primary token, no. We will have a more primary token released during phase 2. But during phase 1, it's only loot, yes. That's the only token you'll be able to use in our game to start off. What will the Genesis role be in the game? Genesis is pretty much like lore-wise are the strongest warriors and dragons. They are like the selected breed, I guess you could say, in the sense that they are stronger than the others, so have more benefits. They will start off by having extra perks, as we went over here on staking. Like Genesis Warriors have no risks, they earn everything they claim. Genesis Dragons have more chance of stealing mints while also getting the highest share of the tax. And in the future, since all of our NFTs will have properties as the game goes on, like warriors and dragons will be used in the future for other things, we plan to keep the value of Genesis Warriors and Genesis Dragons increased. So if you mint or hold one of these, Genesis Warriors or Dragons, you can also expect to have more benefits in the future as the game develops and to have more perks. We plan to always make these two one of the best things you can hold and have in our game ecosystem. Meaning that even though they'll be great for phase one, on phase two, phase three, phase four, they will still have value and they will still get new things added to them as we go. It's pretty much something that will keep having value over the whole game. When is a project playable in mobile? When we do release, oh yeah, about mobile, something we forgot to say at the start. Our website is currently not very mobile friendly. Like you can open it on a mobile, but it might be a bit out of place. We do know about this, don't worry. We are working on making it mobile friendly. It should be out in a few days, the mobile version. So don't worry about that. But the whole game will be playable on your MetaMask browser on your mobile or in your computer browser. So you don't need to worry about mobile experience. You'll be able to play it on mobile or a computer. When was the minting date? We don't have a minting date yet. We do plan on releasing Genesis very soon. When we do have a date, we will post it here on Discord. Um, when Genesis does goes live, then we have like a limit of time until we release the game, I guess. We plan on release the full game a few days after Genesis goes live. So I guess you can see Genesis date as a start, and we'll have an official date for the Gen Zero after Genesis goes out. Is the code with the game already created or is still being worked on? It's mostly already made. There's still a few things that are being worked on, and we still want to test it further and have it be reviewed by professional devs